Party people in the place to be, live from 58 Dream Street. We're James with Games. Happy Sunday, folks. Officially into the Sunday time slot now for our Disco Elysium playthrough. This is going to be session number 2, and I am excited. I have been looking forward to this game for years. Looking forward to finally trying this game. And now I am trying it, so that's one part that's exciting. But the other part is that I played it once on Monday, and it was great, and I'm excited to get back to it. I've got that feeling, you know? You can't wait to find out what happens next. The feeling that you want to have when you read a story or when you play a game or anything like that. So here we are. Yeah. Without further ado, let's fire it up, and then I will wrangle it into functioning form. Okay. It is loading on the screen over there. So I choose to believe that the screen capture will start working soon. Oh, perhaps I just have it turned off. That, in fact, is the problem. All right, here we are. Turn this down a bit in my own ears, and then maybe up in the monitor. But I'll have a better sense of what volume to aim for once I... oh no. Can't get my cursor to appear in the game right now. That's frustrating. Hold on. Oh. That was actually pretty easy. Just a matter of clicking once. Okay. We continue. And here we are. Okay. It's up on the screen. I think we're good to go. Let me know if there are any volume issues. And let me see to what extent I can recall, stories so far. There's one thing. Gotta click over here. Story so far is that I'm some dude, don't know yet, a cop who likes to wear flared disco pants. We know that much. And this cop dude has been on a real leaving Las Vegas kick, drinking too much, threatening suicide, wants to end his own life. We don't know exactly why, but he seems to live in a pretty bleak, near future world, so that could have something to do with it. There could also be some kind of personal thing. Who knows? At any rate, after waking up in a hostel with no memory of who he is, he gets down to business, talking to people, figures out, oh, I'm a cop. I get it. He's a cop. Okay. And then what? Well, turns out that he... what am I trying to say here? Turns out that he... boom, has an investigation to get to. Another cop shows up. His not official partner, but his partner on this investigation, Lieutenant Ken Kitsuragi. And they get down to business. First order of business is to take the murder victim down from the tree he's hanging from, where I've left him for 3 days while on my bender. But the problem is, I cannot seem to get him off of there without vomiting. Hail, waffle syrup. Glad to have you here. And so the heart of the matter, the big problem here, is that I went with a guy who is a real he's got a good read on people. And then he's not really very strong, or you can't see. But if you're not in the know, this bottom row is motorics. You know, your dexterity type skills. He's only a 2 in both of those. And so his endurance, which is the stat that it takes to not throw up while dealing with a disgusting... Hello, Cedric. Pivoting the reference. I imagine a lot of people my age, I was definitely familiar with Weird Al's Jurassic Park long before I ever heard MacArthur's Park, let alone the disco remix by... Is that Donna Summer who did the disco version? Hey, Jeffawet, welcome. So, I have a level up, and I think in the name of trying to get this corpse down, I'm going to put my first level up into my endurance. Because I already got a good start on my things up here. You know, I'll build my intellectual skills and my people skills as time goes by. But I will start by trying to customize myself to the task at hand. I assume I just click this and it works. And I am correct. All right. 1 level up. Very nice. Let's go to my brain for a moment. My volumetric shit compressor is unlocked, which is going to let me try the white check again. And it's raised my learning cap, but I don't know that that is at all helpful to me. This might be a thing. If we go to this corpse and I just puke again, probably I'll live with that. I want to try to just, you know, play the game and let it go, let it play out how it plays. But also, at some point, I want to get this done. Maybe I'll be tempted to load, but I don't think so. We tried to talk to the person who may or may not have called in the crime. She insists that she did not call in the crime. Oh, you know what I ought to do? I ought to look at all my tasks. Inspect the body. Yeah. That I figured that's what that was. That it was like not something that's actively helping me, but that I could continue. Like it would allow me to help myself more. Okay. So yeah, we got to deal with this body. I have caused a bunch of damage in the hotel. I got to pay that off somehow. I tried asking my boss to forward me some money. They don't care. They're not into that. I've lost my badge. It's a thing. I also lost my gun. Awkward. There's a smoker on the balcony who we spoke to. We figured out where he lives after we spoke to him, even though he gave me a fake name. But we need to go there after 2100 hours, 9 p.m. in the evening. And then also, got to figure out who made the call. Keep searching despite lacking any leads. And I have an idea of a song, although it's not been recorded here. But I need to find it on tape so that I can express my pain in karaoke. Those are the objectives right now. Cool stuff. There's this absolutely shitty little kid here. Just the worst. You think he would, like, not that he would help to be helpful, but that he would help so he gets to touch the corpse. But he won't help.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Okay. Oh, so I do get a +6 to this, thanks to my compressed shit. I have gotten my shit together temporarily, I presume because of how humiliated I am in front of Lieutenant Kitsuragi. 83% chance is pretty good. I think it's really good. Let's try it. It seems it's excellent so far. And it's also like many mystery stories. Based on its reputation, I assume it's the kind of mystery story where it's going to get better as we get drawn into the mystery. Obviously, mystery stories can also blow it when the actual plot turns out to be less exciting than the, thoughts you had about what the plot might be. Here we go. 83%.
As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it.
How's that for volume, by the way? Let me know. So let's see. My endurance plus my modifiers had me at a 9, so I only needed 5. I got 8. Not bad. Okay, let me address that. One moment. Okay. What I put her to should be good. But we'll find out together. Alright, okay. Here we go. Step closer.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enamel boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Oh my. An interesting corpse. Surprised that his head isn't sheared off. The strength of that belt. Well, look at these boots.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them.
Nice.
Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow.
The boots? Okay. Or maybe the socks. Interesting. Ceramic boots.
These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
I'm gonna speak that thought aloud. These aren't just boots, are they? They're armor.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
Yeah, of course. What kind of armor is this exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Where?
Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
What do you think happened to the rest of it?
The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days.
Kind of weird no one took the boots, now that you put it like that.
We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could yield information. Maybe he'll know something.
I could say something that'll make me sound stupid, but I don't want to lose any more face if I can help it. In front of Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Understood.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic.
The material kind of looks out of place here, huh?
It is. It's expensive.
The lieutenant draws a line in the condensation on the ceramic with his index finger.
We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
Fun fact, Mega Man's armor is ceramic. That's what he's Rock Man in Japan. At least they didn't call him Toilet Man, right? How much are we talking about here?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted for rank.
Ka-ching, baby.
By catching, do you mean let's not log them as evidence? Let's steal them?
No, no.
What was that about the constabulatory before? You need to push some buttons if you want to recruit the lieutenant in a conspiracy.
Mega Man 15. All right. It's Toilet Man. You're going to be Sink Man. He's just sitting in the bathroom. He's just peeling wallpaper man. No, that's not what I meant. I just meant they cost a lot.
Of course.
No, seriously, Lieutenant. Fuck's sake. Okay. How do you think this guy could afford this? And if he was so rich, why'd he hang himself? Or get himself killed?
That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company. But that's just hearsay.
I mean, the cops don't even have this shit. This is pretty advanced for a security guard, don't you think?
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Well, I think, if I remember correctly, it's only the 6 robot masters in the first Mega Man. Bomb Man was a demolitions guy. Iceman was for working in cold environments. Fireman in hot environments. Guts Man for loading stuff around. I guess Cut Man was for like forestry, maybe. And Elect Man obviously does some kind of electricity thing. But I think from then on, the idea is that Dr. Wily just keeps on making new robots. I love the gag that after Mega Man 4, where it's Dr. Cossack is the villain, but then you find out that actually Dr. Cossack's daughter was kidnapped by Dr. Wily, who blackmailed him into doing the Dr. Wily scheme. And then in number 5, Proto Man is the villain, but once again, it's actually Dr. Wily. And then Mega Man 6, the villain is the mysterious Mr. X, who is clearly just Dr. Wily with extra fake facial hair and sunglasses on. But you still have, like, nobody just calls him on it. Okay. I don't think we should pull the boot off. It's going to shear his feet right off. In fact, I'm not going to bang on the corpse at all.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Disgusting. Let's look at those tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
Mental skill check, I believe.
His corpse is
Yep.
marked by stars.
Okay. Doesn't feel like it tells me anything more than what was already here. What will my corpse be marked by?
Alcohol and heartbreak.
Heh. Well played, inner monologue. So, what do you think? Does this correspond to the actual sky? I assume you still look up at the stars and dream more often than I do, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
A map of the stars. I do see some similarity to astronomical charts. Great Century Messinian, maybe. But this seems more particular. Customized somehow.
Oh, Basher 450. When will you chumps learn that the best viewers are already here and I didn't pay a dime for them? To the cornfield with you.
As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown to you. The thought dissipates, and you feel as though you were only half right.
Lieutenant, I'm missing something here.
So am I.
Oh, good. Great. Great. Thank you. Sudden ringing fills the air. The lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange jacket. We can talk about this after you graduate, Waffle Syrup.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
Oh, I'll be letting the lieutenant work. I'm just stroking my chin and stroking my mangy beard and nodding like oh yeah. Yeah. Gotta get that aluminium out for sure.
Shit, Cuno! What the fuck is that?
Do you... I was about to say, do you kiss your mother? These kids aren't kissing their mothers.
An instant color camera.
Yeah. Come on, kid. You didn't know that was an instant color camera? He produces 2 metal-capped ampoules and clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines there.
This is the first time he openly acknowledges the kid's existence.
Yeah. That's interesting. I don't know what it means.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
Jeez, Lieutenant. You couldn't have come a little bit more prepared? I thought you were the professional here. He points the camera at the corpse, peering into it. The lens needs adjusting, then...
A sound, a shrill flash,
Oh,
followed by the
God, I
breaking
should have
of
shut
a
my eyes
small
before that.
ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
Ooh. Nice.
In case we need it.
The lieutenant says, and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. On it, color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. Cool machine.
Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
Yep. Why do I have to ask this stupid question? What do we need this photo for? Is it evidence?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter. To us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Yeah, can I hold on to it? I should look at it, like, if I'm not smelling the corpse, I might have some insight.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
I don't know, Lieutenant. I don't know if you're making the right call here. He hands you the piece of rolled up photo paper. It's no larger than a pack of cigarettes. Yeah. Come on, Lieutenant. I'm not going to lose it. It's not like this is my service revolver.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
Disgusting.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Sure thing, tutorial agent. Let's check it out. Wait. Oh, but I can't yet. I'll do it later. Okay. Alright, and then that's quite a belt he's hanging with, huh?
The
Let's take a look.
hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch.
Yep. That's a belt, alright.
This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt. Big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Lieutenant, don't ask me how I know, but this is a lashing belt used for airlifting cargo.
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
No, because it's apparently it's, if you look, you can see it's the reinforced kind. It's for air transport. At least that's what my brain's telling me.
The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
So we're going on the assumption here that the dock workers did it?
The brief suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing?
No. I think they might have actually forgotten to brief me.
Then you should ask me the first moment we get.
You're right. And I will, Lieutenant. You're right. Yep. But holy shit, like, they really wanted him secured up there to use this, like, that shit is reinforced with steel wiring.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
You didn't have to bring a chainsaw, Lieutenant. How do you think they even tied him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Fair. Fair enough. Figure they used the kid's ladder here? Should we be dusting it for prints or something?
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Right. Still, it's important to consider all theories.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt,
Alright.
limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos.
I'm not exactly sure what I can learn here, but I'm going to stare into the eyes of this moldering corpse.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors.
Ridiculous, man. The way your eyes are bulging out of your dead face.
Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess. Underneath the curdled meat there is an expression, not carried on his features, but below, inside, an expression of pleasure. This man was experiencing joy at the moment of his death.
Joy at the moment of his death. Tell me, who are you, dead man?
I'm gone.
Yeah, no shit. Where, though? Where have you gone?
Into the wild pale yonder.
Sure. And where is that?
In the past. Way out in the west.
Righto. So I can see you're gone. But what I asked actually originally was, who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
Yeah, you are now. Haha. With your eyes all bulging like that. But who were you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
Like, not your own mother, though.
Go ahead, Kobo.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Is that my name, Kobo? Probably not. What's happening here? Are we actually talking?
What do you mean?
Just like I'm talking to you and you're responding to me. And I haven't even had a drink, but it also hasn't been long enough for this to be the DTs.
It's the power of your
Black, frothy liquid starts bubbling on his lips.
imagination.
Ah, it's the mind, the palace of the mind, the inland empire, so to speak.
Yeah, man! Don't be crazy! Inanimate objects and dead people can't really talk to you. Your wild imagination is doing this. Ask some more of those questions you love so much.
But why does my imagination make everyone so mean to me? Oh, I get it. It's because I hate myself.
He loves those.
But why do I love questions so much?
Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Yeah, I love questions. Give me more.
Here you go, you loony.
Is my name Rooney? No. I have this horrible feeling that in the inky blackness of my memory, I'm blocking out something terrible. You think that's a justified feeling?
Because you have.
Fuck. Yeah, I was concerned about that. All right, so, buddy, you kind of seem like, I get this vibe like you were enjoying yourself when you died. Like, this isn't just a David Carradine situation, is it?
Maybe I was getting my rocks off.
So, you were feeling sexual arousal when they were hanging you?
Do I look like an erotic auto-asphyxiation type to you?
I mean, I've usually heard the term autoerotic asphyxiation, but like, I mean, you kind of do with the, you know, wearing nothing but boots, hanging, pleasure look on your face. Just told me you were getting your rocks off.
Captain Coppadromo, I fear we are drifting away, fixating on sexuality again. Let's go with a simpler question.
No, let's try to trace that line of questioning in a different order. Why were you feeling
Maybe
pleasure?
I was getting my rocks off.
Ah, this isn't going to be productive either. Forget
I
it.
know what this means. More questions.
No, I've actually had enough.
Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
Whoa. It's kind of creepy there, Hangman, how you said something that wasn't in your dialogue as printed on the screen. But yeah, we try to, you know, respect diversity here and realize that anybody and anyone and everyone can wrap a belt around their neck, and so on and so forth. All right, hold on. Let me look at this holistically.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink.
Speak to me, but not literally.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
I'm squinting, Kim, just on instinct. Does this make sense as a plan? Why am I doing this?
How should I know why you are squinting, officer?
His face and his hands are pink, and his thighs, but the rest is greenish. Does that mean anything?
Oh. You are trying to assess lividity.
Well, hold on. Let me relax my eyes.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something.
Ooh,
Black
baby.
liquid streams down his thigh and
Should have
onto
brought another
his
bottle of
belt.
ammonia.
So, what do you think?
It's beaten up. See those bruises?
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Yeah. And they're still here bothering us, and that part is confusing me. I've just, like, we're cops, right? Can't we just beat up these kids?
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
Shut the fuck up, Cuno.
It means you fucked him up good, Cuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
Meanwhile, Lieutenant, there's something coming out of him here?
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
Yeah. Yep. Make a note of that,
The
Lieutenant.
fuck he's saying?
Talking about shit.
Listen, both of you. Just cool it with the fucking F slurs. Alright. Means we got... Jeez. No, yeah. Maybe he took a shit right before he died? Maybe they got him in the bathroom.
Maybe.
He doesn't really want to dwell on it too long. But yeah. I don't know what to think. Lieutenant, what do you think?
I think he was upright immediately after death. Blood has gathered in his hands and feet, and his neck.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say earlier, and you snorted at me.
The noose acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis here is in tune with the hanging. That's what I think.
But would it be possible for him to be killed like that, but also to have been moved after death, or do you think he died here?
There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
Yeah. Just, alright. Just let me catch my breath.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils.
Shouldn't
He
have taken that
slowly
deep of a
rotates
breath.
before you, decomposing.
Alright. So, Lieutenant, what's your plan for getting that reinforced belt down? You a good tree climber? You think you can make the jump from that metal shed roof?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's down.
Yeah. I clicked all the options. We've been thorough. You got a plan for getting him down, Lieutenant?
The steel
Level
reinforced
up.
belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
There's certainly not. See him bring a ladder.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
We saw the branch.
Climb up there and saw the branch?
Yeah. Seems dangerous. Pay Cuno to do it.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Okay, well. What do you think? Maybe we could ask for help going down the harbor, see if anyone wants to help?
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
Alright, yeah, let's reconsider.
But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
Can we get someone else? Like, is there anyone else we get to do it?
Someone else? You mean like the police?
I meant someone like whose rank is below detective, maybe? No, you have a point.
Sadly, yes. The whole RCM is out there right now, doing the exact same thing we are. Are we in a rush to help them? Not with this on our hands.
He covers his nose.
I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast.
And Lieutenant's just gonna think I'm an idiot. If I'm like, let's shoot him down. Okay, well that's it then. What are we gonna do besides asking for help from the harbor?
Okay, they do have the tools and the men. And since it looks like they put him there,
Then they must be able to get him down too.
okay, let's do it in the lousy, dangerous way.
How do we get inside the harbor though?
From the gates, by negotiating or fighting. I'm unenthusiastic about fighting. Or we can try to find some secret third path. It's unlikely though.
This is gonna be dangerous.
To ask the suspect for help with the victim's body? To be indebted to Everard Clare? Very much, yes. Which is why I would have preferred us to handle this ourselves. Clearly we can't.
Yeah.
Suck my dick, bitches.
Would you fuck kids. Alright. Everett Clare. I'm guessing he's our Jimmy Hoffa. But just remember the hangover here.
The
Lieutenant?
leader of the Union. A dangerous and corrupt man, from what I hear. You don't want to owe him much.
Well then why don't we just, pay up front?
Yeah? Don't go being someone else's bitches. You're Cuno's bitches.
Shut the fuck up, Cuno. Alright, let's get to it. Okay. Shit's going down. Where will I spend a skill point? I don't know. Logic doesn't seem like a bad one to have right now. But then there's like, spotting details couldn't be a bad thing to suck less at. The big question here is, do I focus on shoring up the things I might want that I suck at? Or do I focus on enhancing the things I'm already pretty good at? You can be more charming. Or I could get even better at logic, figuring stuff out. Both of those seem like really good detective skills. I think I'll make my perception not suck. Why not? Ding. Meanwhile, there's an interact menu. If I cared about being more charming, I would surely start by buying a razor. Instant photo of tattoos. Lieutenant Kitsuragi snapped this photo of the hanged man's tattoos. Displays the intricate web of blue lines stretching across his torso. You have to admit, it's pretty cool.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man. It still kind of looks like a map of the stars in the night sky, but something's not right.
What is the meaning of this tattoo?
For you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without assistance.
But who could assist me?
Someone close to the victim might know.
Sure. Maybe we'll ask the union boss.
Someone who knows about history could tell you.
That's fair. Who are you, dead man? Because I'm never going to be able to ask anyone who knew you if I don't know who you are.
Gone.
Right. That is what he said. Okay. Cool. So. Oh. Ask Cuno if he knows. So we'll talk to Cuno before we leave. Find out about tattoos. Ask him about the case. And we got to go to the harbor. Okay. Lieutenant.
Yes?
Yeah, tell me about the case.
What do you want to know?
Literally anything about it. Like, I just don't remember the briefing.
Ah, yes. The case brief you missed. Now I remember.
Brief. Yeah. That sounds good.
3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Yeah. Does the briefing say who the victim was?
A security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth.
And then we didn't find out anything but the caller, except a false lead.
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
But why would they feel the need to hide themselves?
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, not going to ask about this. The RCM is the cops. Okay. Yes. I understand.
Just to be clear,
I'm up to speed.
we are police officers. It's
Yes.
our job to find the killer.
Yep.
That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer.
And why are we on the same, like, I have a partner. I vaguely recall.
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
Yes, a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
No, he would not. What do you mean?
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
You know what I'm in on, Lieutenant? Retrograde amnesia.
Better still than an imbecilic cop-off.
Tell me about it.
What's there to say? It's just stupidity.
What kind of stupidity? Come on, Lieutenant.
The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now it's come to its natural conclusion.
Nah. So, we're struggling over who runs Martinez.
Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words.
Yeah, it's a struggle over who runs it, where everybody wants to lose the struggle.
I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
Yeah. I would say, like, I can't say this for sure, but there are probably some times when I'm up for a pissing competition. I probably do all right.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary.
So, what do you figure this says about me? That I got the job? Let's just leave it unspecified.
The silence carries.
What's so special about Martinez? Or what sucks so much about it?
Martinez? Nothing. It's just
Sorry,
a pedal at the end
Martinez.
of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist.
Right, yeah. Well, enough of the competition then. Tell me something else.
Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
He's actually glad it's addressed now.
Good. I can try a difficult logic challenge. Why? Why did the 41st send me? Let's go for it.
Because you're the best qualified. No, that doesn't seem right.
Stupid brain. Good for nothing. Should have leveled up my logic.
You look dumb if you keep the lieutenant waiting for too long.
Yes. Piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit. Nothing. Sorry, Lieutenant. Sorry. Just being a fucking stupid piece of shit. Hey, Cuno, you sure do know how to fucking throw.
Fuck does Cuno care?
Boy turns to you. He doesn't care. I have more questions, kid. Wait. I'm not going to try this yet, but even with my very high empathy, it's a long shot. Okay. I want to talk about the body some more, Cuno.
The fuck about it?
About his armor. The fuck is his armor gone?
Cuno doesn't give a shit about the armor.
Why don't you? You don't think armor's cool?
Cuno's fuck-gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant.
Exactly. It's a white check. I've learned that part of the system. He's a mutant? The fuck are you talking about, kid?
Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man.
Well, it fit on him.
Cuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Cuno threw that shit away.
What do you mean you threw it away?
Cuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big.
He performs a kickoff on the imaginary helmet. Okay, so you punted the helmet away. Into the harbor? Somewhere around here?
Cuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Cuno.
Threw it in the fucking sea.
Yeah, that shit means nothing to Cuno. Cuno
Yeah.
doesn't give a shit about material shit. Cuno's a fucking monk.
You said you tried to put it on, Cuno. And also, I can't help but point out that you're wearing a shirt over a shirt. How anti-materialistic is that?
You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gate.
What do you mean? The troubadour?
Yeah, cock and boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit? Came around pretending like he cares about cows?
No, I don't know this cow fucker.
So yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Cuno's armor. Go to the gate. Ask him yourself.
Cuno, I thought you didn't fucking care about the armor. Now you're saying it's yours? You're a monk, but you also own this armor that you don't care about?
Yes, this troubadour has it. You can feel it.
That seems like a lead. Did you do every single one of the bruises on this guy? Was he fucked up at all before you started fucking him up, kid?
Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit?
He grabs his head like it's suddenly hurting. I'll show you a thing or two about contusions, kid.
He says you're stupid, Cuno. They want to make you stupid again.
A contusion is a bruise. I'm talking about the marks your stones are leaving on the corpse.
Oh, did Cuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing? This is Cuno's kingdom. Cuno fucking rules here.
Okay, but could you answer the question?
You hear the lieutenant hum.
Lieutenant's on some shit.
He's thinking the kid has amassed quite the vocabulary of law enforcement terms, but he's not going to stick his nose into this.
You know, Cuno, me and Lieutenant can't help but wonder. Where are you picking up all this cop lingo? Your dad a copper?
Me and my partner are wondering, do you guys puff Peter?
Look, I'll puff Peter all day if I want to, Cuno essay.
Cuno erupts into laughter, pointing his finger at you, then Kim, then back at you.
Look, if I blow this guy right now, will you answer the question, Cuno?
An unfortunate choice of words, the lieutenant from Precinct 57 thinks. He looks at the harbor walls looming overhead. He could use a cigarette right about now.
All right, we're gonna circle back around to this later, Cuno. But right now, let's talk about something
You're
else.
testing Cuno's patience here.
And you can see on my face how worried I am about offending your patience.
Get lost,
I don't like it. All right, I got more questions about the crime scene, Cuno.
Yeah? The kingdom of Cuno? The fuck do you want with it?
Ever climb that ladder?
Look at that fucking shit! You're trying to get Cuno killed!
So would you say it's an unclimbable ladder then?
Fuck does Cuno know? Cuno's not a fucking acrobat.
Yeah, acrobats do fancier shit than just climb up a ladder on a tree, Cuno.
The lieutenant takes a quick note in his notebook.
Good, you're getting this, Lieutenant?
it's a trap, Cuno! Don't climb it, Cuno!
So anyway, what about that greenhouse?
Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there.
Kit is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Erie-Uppergite descent. It used to be a common first name among the Erie-Uppergites of Ilmara. Not so much anymore.
The lieutenant just, on one side of the ledger, he writes down the names of all the people that we meet. And then at the moment when it's indicated, he pops his notebook open and writes fuck this guy on the other half of the ledger. Okay. So, great. Cuno is a racist, in addition to a homophobe and a general little shit. You mean the young woman over by Whirling and Rags, that gardener?
Look, Cuno doesn't explain shit. Cuno just says shit.
He looks you in the eyes and nods as if agreeing with himself.
Yeah, her.
About that trash container.
Don't be wondering about Cuno's shit, pig.
Look, I got a very strong hunch. You know detective lingo, right? So you know what a hunch is. There's something of importance in there, something I gotta find. But maybe if you just like gut it out, I wouldn't have to go digging through your shit.
Fuck does Cuno care about your hunch? That's your shit. You figured it out.
So you're saying you don't mind if I go rifling through your shit?
Cuno is actually a little interested.
Yeah, he is. Meanwhile, Cuno, that shack over there, we got a stack of Eternite.
That's just some shit roofing gimps left behind. Lazy dinks.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, okay. Well, I might have questions later, but for now, let's talk about something else.
Yeah, whatever. Cuno doesn't give a shit.
All right, it's a long shot, but what's the story with this kid?
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around.
Oh, so close.
And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Well, this isn't going to work, but all right, Cuno, listen. I know, like, kid your age, boundary pushing is so exciting. I remember when I was like a 5 or 6 year old, must have been 6, and my parents, for whatever reason, got the Simpsons Sing the Blues through our, the Columbia House. They'll send you music and stuff. And I was singing along to one of the songs, and I said the word heck in front of my parents. And then I froze up. I was like, oh, God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say heck. And then they explained to me that heck was not a swear word. So then I was like, I was instantly like, just everything I said. I was like, what the heck is for dinner? And so on and so forth. It's exciting when you get to edge up to a new boundary.
Get your snout out of Cuno's ass. Cuno knows how hard Cuno pushes it. Cuno pushes it hard level.
Are we still doing phrasing, kid?
You should give up, Popo, or the Cun will keep fucking it out of you.
Seriously, is phrasing over?
You okay, Cuno?
She looks worried. The Kun has her confused.
That went wrong. He took it as a compliment. Then he had a minor seizure.
We'll come back. And maybe I will use my next level up to enhance my existing power of empathy. It's my main thing. All right, well, great talk,
Cuno
Cuno.
doesn't fucking care.
I didn't think you did, kid. I didn't think you did for a minute. All right. This is the logo of the municipality of Revachol. Yeah, no shit.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags.
She's locked. Okay. Well, what's on the agenda? We got a guy to talk to about the armor. So there's one step. We got time to wait until we go try to talk to the dude. Okay. Well, don't even know where it is. Oh, good. Intuitively, I thought, I gotta be able to zoom out with the mouse wheel, right? And I can. Great. Okay, so who is the gardener? Let's talk to some people around the whirling in rags.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with?
I have some questions.
Of course. What can I help you with?
We need directions.
Of course. Where to?
I have no idea. What's up in the north?
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements. Not a lot, really.
Righto. How about the
The
east?
harbor gates. Some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store, too.
Okay, how about to the south?
Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Some kind of accident, probably.
And beyond the canal?
Just coast. There's a little fishing village there, and a fish market. But that got closed down ages ago.
Must have been rough for the fishing village. And the west.
It's just water.
Yeah.
No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. There are some islands in the bay, but they're hard to reach.
Thank you.
No problem.
Well, anyway, gotta
Of
run.
course. I won't hold you back.
She wipes her brow with the yellow canary glove.
Her gloves. You get the feeling that you need them. You have a dead body to deal with after all.
One more thing. I got this corpse I'm dealing with. Would you mind if I borrowed your gloves? We're gonna try to get the union to pitch in here, but...
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
She hands you the rubber gloves with no visible annoyance. Hey, thanks. What do the gloves do? They improve my interfacing. Meanwhile, the flip-up glasses make me more logical, but less capable of projecting authority. I think I'll continue not wearing them for now. Okay, so do I go directly to the harbor, or do I? Every now and then I like to just throw down a save. Even though, like I said, I'm gonna do my best here not to revert. But I guess I'm going to, there's someone we wanted to talk to over this way. Down by the harbor, some lady, she's on a boat, I think. Oh, and I should, as I'm going, just keep an eye out for any more money I can scrounge up, because, jeez, night time's a coming. Oh wait, my thoughts. Oh, I'm working on remembering where I live, and I should okay. Even if I get kicked out, maybe I'll remember where I live in time to have somewhere to stay tonight. I just don't feel like Lieutenant Kitsuragi wants me to crash at his place. What's this? What's going on here? Inside the frame of a motorcycle in repair. Inside the frame of a motorcycle in repair, and the tools to disassemble it. What's this? Cape Side Apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain to Roundabout North. We're strolling on down. Take a look at this when we get there. Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33I. Trestle and Trez. Your room in the Whirling isn't much bigger than this sloop. That's not true. My room is much bigger than this sloop. It's worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life. That seems more plausible.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting. Oh, go figure. Everyone hates the cops but the rich lady.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer, holds out her hand over the railing. Shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight, cold.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
You can? Thanks, Lieutenant.
How interesting.
She turns to
I
you
wish you a
unfazed.
swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation. and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Good stuff.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
You're on a boat. I'm taking a good hard look at this motherfucking boat. Well, tell me what Wild Pines.
What
do you
we
do?
do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
All right, yeah, but what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things.
Yeah.
And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
Ah, so in this timeline we didn't go green.
The Wild Pines group is one of the original Revacholian Indo tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo tribes remain.
Right. And the other Indo tribes are...
Son Baptiste,
Yeah.
LUM, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
An unknown entity known as Brightest Star. Jeez, you're in good company, Wild Pines.
Why, thank you.
She does not register the real meaning of the remark. Got it. All right, tell me something else.
She nods.
What can you tell me about the strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Okay, so what's your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
Oh, so you're not involved in like arranging Pinkertons or anything to deal with this strike?
And how are the talks going?
Well, as you can see, Lieutenant, they're going great.
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of racism going around the Martinez district. Tell me more about the behemoth.
What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now.
You can't be intolerant of intolerance. That would be hypocritical. Well, how about before the lynching? Were things all right?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
But at least you have your boat to comfort you.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
Righto. Yeah. I love being on site. Can't think of anywhere I'd rather be than in this shitty neighborhood with the disgusting rotting corpse hanging from a tree.
But the strike began in December.
Good job taking that detailed note, Lieutenant.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
Wow. Well, when you hear the bosses explain it, it sounds like the union is entirely unreasonable.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Right. And what are these demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes,
What did they say?
every worker, a member of the board.
Huh. I don't know what to think about that. I think, I do think the, like a lot of European countries, like I think in Germany, for example, they, the union has a seat on the board. If you're going to do it, that seems like a good model for capitalism. Get some buy-in, if we're gonna have this system, then we're all tied up in the success of the company. I don't know what to think about that.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal.
Wow. So it's not even like they're members. Does your board already run on consensus?
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
Wild. And what are you going to do?
I'm not sure.
Try not to antagonize
Naturally,
Joyce.
I assume that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
There does appear to have been a lynching.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
Good question,
I
Lieutenant.
first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me Mañana."
This checks out.
Yeah, checks out. And so then, what happened to Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it?
Ooh, this is going to be juicy.
Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Not cool. Not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the Union.
Or so you say.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
It sure does. Put those scabs at the gate?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the Union refuses to?
Yeah, Joyce, come on. It's a common term.
If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
But maybe later?
It's implied she's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Oh yeah, I didn't even need to roll a 9 for that. That's the plain language implication of that last sentence. So yeah, Mr. Clare, he sounds like a piece of work.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Yeah, just nod.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
No, hold on. There's an Everett and an Edgar Clare?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also
hope you're noting
talks
that,
exactly
Lieutenant.
like Everard does. And when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
Remember, like, long ago when Vladimir Putin was term limited out of the presidency? He was like, I'll just be the prime minister now, and Medvedev here or whatever can be the president. And then after... Lieutenant, on that note, do you know of anywhere we could score some eclairs around here? Because I'm kind of hungry, having puked my guts out twice today. He went to all that pretense of being like, no, Medvedev is the president. And then finally was like, whatever. There's no term limits. I'm in charge. What about the Union generally, outside the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act. But they did it. I can respect that.
Yeah.
Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say...
Gonna say a cursor word again, Joyce?
A mob. The debarders are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Yeah, we talked about that, Lieutenant.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
Have you ever thought of just having them killed?
And your opinion, Detective?
I mean, not that I'm
If I
saying
may
you should.
ask. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Debardeurs Union is...
I find it, in the interest of professional objectivity, I try to be completely bewildered at all times.
Of course, officer.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. One more thing, though. You said something happened in the elections?
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Murder most foul?
Disappeared?
Yes, that's what she said, Lieutenant.
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Some kind of extortion, probably.
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a Union matter.
Sounds like it could have been a matter for the RCM, I don't know.
The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
I'll be on notice, Joyce.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
All right, well, that's the strike.
Of course.
But if we could zoom in a
How
little.
else can I help?
Well, I mean, we should probably talk about the lynching.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
She falls silent for a moment, contemplating
The
something.
information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Oh, fuck's sake. 0, 0, 0.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57.
And I am a detective, rank of detective.
And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
But I filed an official report about my badge. I bet I could get you a carbon copy.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Oh, I was, you get a little fired up, you drink a whole lot, you're showing off your gun, saying how you can commit suicide. Where was I? What was the question?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Do you remember, okay, my partner mentioned how recently I suffered an unusual medical episode. Lost badge.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
Yes. Maybe it's better if I spare you the details.
I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
Fuck's sake. I'll just be honest. It's possible. Look. Drank a lot and now I can't remember anything.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond.
You don't need to. We can just move on.
I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
Well, I got to have a lot of laughs with my coworkers when I phoned in my lost badge and gun.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Sometimes I find you get the clearest picture of a case if you just fucking bomb all your memories out of your mind. Cheap whiskey.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Fuck's sake, Joyce. You're kind of holding up the investigation.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
We only got one shot at this, but it's a 72% chance. How do I negotiate my way out of this?
She's a negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuate.
Surely there's some other way I could demonstrate my law enforcement credentials? Any mysteries you need solved?
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
It'd be easier to show that after I solve the crime with your assistance.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
That
They're profiting from this trade.
they're profiting from this trade. The Union's in the drug trade.
The company has tried looking
This
into
is what
this
killed the
matter
mafia.
before, to no
Getting into
avail.
heroin.
Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones.
Yeah, a stand-up guy might shut up and take the fall for 10 years, but once we're talking about heroin and advanced sentencing, no, 30 years, fuck it. I'll tell you what you need to know, and I'll be Pete Smith for the rest of my life. Well, I mean, I got lots of authority and resources.
Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Yeah. Yep.
Detective,
Appreciate
a
your
word in
frankness.
private before we continue.
Just excuse us a moment. Let me talk to my partner. Not my official partner. What is my thought? One sec. Shadows on the water. Green plants under the calm surface. I'm vaguely jealous of those plants. What if I was down there, just kind of swaying back and forth? Lieutenant?
Not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
What, we're henchmen now?
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
In what sense do you think
He
that's
doesn't
true?
let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
So do you propose that we don't investigate the alleged drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. Let's get back to her.
You're back.
Yes.
Good.
Sorry about that.
What can I help you with?
Tell me about this alleged drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
So let me get this straight. They come from Samara to Revachol through Terminal B?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Oh, yeah. Pardon me, possibly my neighborhood.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
Producing the product, Lieutenant, is not selling the drugs.
We're in logistics. It's our
It's
business
manufacturing.
to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
All right, and you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
What do you mean?
The lorries. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers, well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they are vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
She gives you a knowing look.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
You'll be indebted to her, in a way, but one step ahead of the Union in another.
So why didn't you come to the RCM about this earlier?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
Oh yeah, we're pissing all over the place.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Any thoughts on that, Joyce?
Well, here's your chance, officers.
Well, what proof do you have?
How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
Yeah, just good old-fashioned extortion.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
So you think they're funding their strike with the drug materials?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, but she's clearly not the type your typical lorryman would confide in.
Kind of no coincidence that the lorries are stranded, eh?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However,
She pauses, looking to the sea.
this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue.
She looks north.
Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Oh, I bet your heart bleeds for them.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
Go on, Lieutenant.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
Okay, I made up my mind.
Yes?
We're going to talk to the drivers. We'll see what we find out.
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something.
We can only pray, Joyce.
It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need.
I'd say. We're still the early afternoon of day 1. This is not your grandfather's day-night cycle in a video game.
In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
This seems like a long shot. And sorry, by the way, trigger warning. You look at this corpse photo for a second. What do you think of these tattoos on your security guard?
That's the man who was killed.
Yep.
I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
So you know something about the tattoos?
Better not tie the fourth day to the bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
All right. Hey, this is a long shot, Joyce, but would you forward me some cheddar?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
And she got nice fabrics.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat.
So she's better dressed than me.
While dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible.
Yeah, so...
Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable.
You know, when you put it like that, I'm a real kind of a piece of shit compared to Joyce here.
You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
Yeah. Should make my own goddamn money by now.
Maybe you could ask her for some stock tips. That's a maybe. Or a job. But you're sure as hell too ashamed to ask for cash, buddy.
I mean, I'm not that ashamed. I'm pretty ashamed.
Oh God, the lieutenant is here too. Do not dishonor the force.
I was just trying to keep her off balance with my unconventional techniques.
As I was saying, if there's
Ha,
any
just do it
way
anyway.
I may
No.
be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
All right. Great talking to you, Joyce. That's all for now.
Of course, Detective. Take care.
Wow. So much nicer than some of the farewells I receive around these parts. Well, Lieutenant. The belly of this boat shines like it's been recently painted. Unless doing so was somehow going to help him solve the, you know, it's like, all right. So thanks for this $5, because this is gonna be really helpful. But I have one more question that maybe you can clear up for me. You can see my dedication to role-playing and the fact that I'm not just double-clicking to run. Because why would these guys be running around? Right. Good point, Waffle Syrup. Keep my eyes out. I don't see any bottles, though. Okay. So, we gotta head north to reach the lorries. But I have days to do that. If I go this way first, any bottles or anything around here? Okay. Who do I want to talk to here? Probably this big racist looking dude. Let's make our way in gradually. Honest work, honest pay.
Scab?
Hey, it's Call Me Mañana. No, not a scab. I'm a cop.
I was just messing with you.
Meh.
No one's ever seen a cop scab.
Yeah, no, of course not. Cops just come and, beat down the strikers.
Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the wild north? Come to see the strife?
I'm here investigating a murder.
Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
Yeah. No, it's actually very fun and easy.
I don't believe you. Post L'Aventurier said the same thing. They tried to get me to be their postman. So fun, so easy, they said. It's just walking.
Sounds terrible.
It wasn't. I'm doing much better here at the harbor. Being an honest union man with a lot of free time on his hands.
Yeah. Hey, hold on. Call Me Mañana? Cuno? You know the shit Cuno? He said you might know something about the armor?
The little boy had it good on his promise.
His promise?
To get me into trouble.
Matt.
To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words. Not mine.
No, I can tell. That sounds like Cuno to me. You drop any F slurs in there?
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes.
Did you learn anything from your brief probe?
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk union man about some armor.
Fair.
What else?
Not much.
Good follow-up,
Technical
Lieutenant.
stuff mostly. That was the interesting part.
What sort of technical stuff? If it's the interesting
I
part.
did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
Yeah, and?
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him.
He's not a good
The
liar,
boots were
so
still
yeah.
on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove.
Yep. What about the other 2 parts?
So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia.
Hold up. 4 pieces. So there's no leggings?
Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I do.
No, I'm ambitious. I believe in my heart. I'm tracking all this shit
All
down.
of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, and I would leave the boots to processing, but okay. Let's find all of it.
I was just trying to impress Call Me Mañana, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to commit us to this task.
And Mesqui's epic there, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you.
Yeah. So I guess Cuno thought we'd be scaring you by showing up here?
It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
Yeah. Well, thanks for your cooperation in this matter.
No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor right now.
Yeah. So, anyway. We are generally, if you know anything about this dead body.
Body still hanging in the tree? Hey, that's a rough pickle. Can't help you with that, sorry.
I wasn't getting the planning to help vibe off of you. I will confess.
I'm not really an admirer of dead bodies. Might be someone else from the Union can render assistance.
Yeah. Call Me Mañana sends his regards. Just kick him right in the junk. So, does this mean... Can you let me through the gate?
I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
Oh.
Beneath the jolliness, he suddenly seems doubtful.
So it's that simple. I'm just going to walk in?
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in.
Past Measurehead, you say?
Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there.
Ah, there we go.
Walk right past him,
Right.
then press the button to unlock the door,
Nah.
then go past him again,
Okay.
and you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
Huh. You know, for some reason, it just doesn't seem like it's actually going to be that easy.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best Measurehead in a physical confrontation,
Nah.
or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible.
Have any of these scavs ever tried persuading them of their fellow Seminese supremacists?
Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition.
Got it. Well,
Sure.
alright. Another thing. In your view, what's this strike all about?
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss would be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
Nice, Cedric.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
All right. Hey, call me Mañana. Nice talk. Nice talk, pal. We gotta get moving. Well, this seems like the kind of thing maybe you do a quick save before. Although, again, as I keep on saying, I'm gonna try to just do this straight. Just accept what happens. Live with the decisions I make. A notice. In case of strike, press button behind guard. A hermetically sealed locked door. Locked by electronic means. There's no lock picking or door kicking this one. This woman is a big fan of Measurehead. All these ladies love Measurehead. Excuse me. Are you Measurehead? You monolithic motherfucker?
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
What? Oh, yes. No, that's fair. That's fair. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Yeah, I don't need any comments from the peanut gallery here.
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
I say nothing, and I size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
A ripple of muscle passes underneath his skin. He lets you look.
It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me.
Yeah, no, not at all, man. I'm your pal. I'm your buddy. And my body, like, doesn't even matter. I'm with the police, and I hear that only with your magnificent permission.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al Ghul.
Yeah. That's... yeah.
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat.
He's not talking about the leader of the League of Shadows.
But others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
It's not that, Kim. Is it that bad?
It's not good.
Yeah, okay.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
You're right. Okay? I'm an alcoholic. And I need to get that fucking body out of the tree.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
Show him the ham still got it.
Ooh. I don't think I want to do the toughening him up to him. I don't want... Okay. Yeah. I'm not worried about the race stuff. Alright? Fuck the ham sandwich people. Even if I'm one of them. I don't care. I just need you to help me do my job. Measurehead. Please?
Begging for help. Attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race.
Yeah, I know, man, but successive generations, my brain pan, it's shallow, it's a whole thing. Just... You seem like a tall guy. You want to get a corpse out of a tree?
You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft.
And all I'm asking in return is that you open up a fucking door.
You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Koikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture.
Now, hold on. No, I'm a cult... No, actually, you've got my number. That's fair.
You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
I'm not your babe.
It is, baby.
Oh,
yeah.
right, of course. Sorry.
You know it.
Yeah, exactly. I might be in love with my own sadness, but there's nothing frivolous about the pop culture we enjoy here. Speaking of which, I bought 2 contemporary music compact discs over the holiday break. I got Chapel Rowan's Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. Great stuff. I had heard all the singles and none of the other songs. They're all great. And then also the new Cure album. And holy smokes, like 10 seconds and you're like, yeah, it's the Cure. Like unmistakable, and it's really, really good. I've only listened to it twice, and it's definitely like the Chapel Rowan album. Like you listen to it once, you get the idea. Like the idea is hitting you in the face. It's this Cure album is more in the the Disintegration mold than like the Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me mold. It demands careful attention, so I'm gonna have to get to know it over time. One funny thing with the Cure album is that if you look at like Disintegration era liner notes for the Cure, it's like all the songs are lyrics by Robert Smith and music by the whole band. And it makes sense because you listen to those songs on Disintegration and there's a lot of, this instrumental part goes on and on and on and on and on for like 3.5 minutes at the start of the song while different layers come in and stuff. And when I was in bands, I'll tell you, all the tightest pop songs that the bands I've played in when I was younger ever came up with, the tight pop songs were ones where somebody showed up and was like, hey, I wrote a song, and we figured it out. And then all of the meandering songs where we jammed and like, this part goes on for 2 minutes and builds the dynamics. Those all came about because we were just fucking around and eventually it became a song. And yet, if you look at the new Cure album liner notes, all songs is written by Robert Smith. But even when he's writing his own songs, he's just like, he starts playing a riff and he's like, oh yeah, we can do this for like 3 minutes at the start while we layer in some things.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Do I have some terrible idea here?
This man is not budging. Let's hope his superiors inside are more cooperative.
You're right about all this. Like, I agree. I'm such a degenerate, me and my partner here, that I can't even get a corpse out of a tree. I need some sort of superior, really tall Seminese dude.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war.
I don't think I have that kind of diplomatic pull.
Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you.
Do you think this guy would think it was funny if I made some joke about how his home has the word semen in it?
The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage.
This isn't gonna work.
Inside,
This
we will
might.
store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
Now, hold on a second. Some of my art is an ode to bisexuality. I noticed you got some cool tattoos, though.
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
He gestures toward the Lorry men down the street.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
If nothing, yeah, Your deep investment in phrenology is surely a testament to your intellectual superiority. I'm just not going to weigh in and get myself thrown off the platform here, though.
Your silence betrays your inferiority. You do not have a reply. You should enter a deep race slumber. Perhaps in 4,000 years, there is need for a servile homunculus.
Alright. Man, this guy would love X.com, the everything website. Okay, let's see if I can bluff. You know what, though? Like, I know I'm a little bit degenerate, but do you got some? If you have some calipers in your back pocket, you could check. You'll see that actually, like, there's a little bit of a slope to my brain pan, but
Go ahead.
No.
Don't be shy. Just ask for race secrets.
no. I better not say anything.
That's understandable. Jean-Luc Measurehead is a sage and an intellectual giant of race theory. Who are you, handmaiden of Al Ghul?
Oof. Well, let's poke the bear. You're working for the Union, right? Like, aren't these Clare brothers white?
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that.
He turns his eyes towards the harbor, seemingly bored with you.
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Yeah, but you still serve them, right? How does that factor into your life?
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront polycultural capital, something your race, naivistic communists, never did.
Do you recognize that I'm a cop, buddy? It's my job to beat the communists.
Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
Enough of this.
He looks toward the harbor, motionless, the tattoos on his face like a web of stone.
Well, thanks, Measurehead. It's been great talking to you.
We still need to get into the harbor. We need help with the tree situation. There must be another way.
His gaze wanders over the Whirling's roof to the yard. Is there? Well, we could go yell at Cuno some more. Joyce isn't going to share any info with us until we find out about the smuggling. Which I think I can't do until I get the gate. Get the boots off his feet. In order to succeed... Ah. Okay. Okay. Oh, whoops. That's not I'm done. That's show me the quests that are done. Can we talk to any of his girls? No. They don't want to talk. Alright. Great to meet you, Measurehead. Not. One thing you gotta give Measurehead some credit for, though, is his recognition that usually they're racists.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
His voice is the loudest of the lot. And kind of oddly screechy for a dude this big. What's going on here, Scab?
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
What? What are you worried about? You really think they're sending cops to beat up the Scabs? The broad-shouldered alpha male turns to you. He's a full head taller than
You
everybody
here
else.
to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
No.
Good. fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Right to work!
Besides, we're not that different.
He leans closer.
It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
Regardless, I got some questions.
Maybe you should ask them the questions. Like, why we're not allowed to make a living here.
Shame on you!
Do you know that if you actually shut the fuck up and helped out here, I'm actually trying to implicate the Union in some serious crimes?
We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
I'm trying to get into the harbor too.
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. I'm trying to meet their fat boss.
No, I'm interviewing people about a murder that took place here. Behind the hostel cafeteria there?
I know nothing about a murder.
Really?
The mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through him. Interesting.
Hey. Why so tense, big guy?
What are you talking about? I'm not tense.
You're not tense?
Yes, he's tense.
He's tense. This guy's tense.
Right to work!
It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
Yeah, this really isn't my area. I'm murder police?
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
Exactly, Lieutenant. Thank you.
Let us work!
Alright. What exactly is your goal here, Mr.
We
Scab?
were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
And you can't even work hard enough to breach the entrance?
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guards blocking the way to the access panel.
Secretary office, you say?
And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Head measurer?
Yeah. That giant up there on the bridge you talked to. Head measurer. Won't let the workers by. The access panel is right behind him.
Well, how bad could one guy be? You seem like a capable dude.
Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained.
But there's more of you than there's
I
of him.
don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters.
You tried talking to it?
Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
No.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
I think he'll be receptive to this line of reasoning, Lieutenant. So good call butting in there.
No. They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
Yeah. Makes sense. All right, well, hey. I'm just going to leave now. Nice talking to you. All right, let's go yell at Cuno. Wait, can you give me some insights?
Welcome to it.
The fat man stops mid-sentence when he notices Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
Do continue, sir.
Lieutenant steps up to him again, his frame tense as a coiled spring.
Come on, man. The hooler. It's just a greeting. A lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Well, I think we all learned something here.
I haven't learned anything I didn't know before.
Shakes his head with indignation.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
That go okay?
You sense slight embarrassment for the outburst. Or is it pride? Impossible to tell.
Well, now that we settled that up, we got a couple of questions for you, pal.
Whatever you say, officers.
What was that argument all about?
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep.
To be honest, I can't even really remember what all that means. You want to spell it out for me?
People who studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
Yeah. I can tell just looking at you, you're an example of superior design.
Open your eyes. Haven't
You
you
and me,
noticed
buddy.
something different lately? An unfortunate downturn, maybe? Huh? When members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority, they stop competing for resources.
Okay. And?
This concerns you, policeman, so you better be vigilant. The damn kips are showing up good lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other intruder species too. They're on the precipice of cultural victory.
Uh-huh.
It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring.
Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. Let's change the subject.
Go right ahead. You may be a cop, but that won't help you avoid the calamity to come.
No, but Al Ghul's gonna help me avoid
Lieutenant
the calamity.
Kitsaraga's stern expression remains unchanged, but you sense something there, below. Not a lot of moral fiber on this one yet, he thinks, wriggled out of it. What happened? Did your balls shrivel up? You had plenty of chances to get off this road, but no, you let this guy keep talking. Then, when the time came to make your choice, you tried to split the difference. Weak.
So you're a Lorry man, right? What's your stance on drugs?
What? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
Takes a long drag on his cigarette. Why not?
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector.
Right, yeah.
They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
Listen, I agree. It's our responsibility, right, to keep the poison off the streets of Revachol, right?
He eyes you warily, unsure how to respond. This goes on for about 2 seconds. Then,
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
That's why he's still hanging around here. Most of the other Lorry men have beat it.
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
there was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
You know, I did see one lorry. Had the trailer doors open on my way here. You know what happened there?
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it.
Ah, shit. My heart's breaking.
Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
Kind of serves him right, though, when you think about it.
It's a fucking travesty is what it is.
You're a fucking travesty. So, alright, if you're not the one doing it, who's running the drugs through Terminal B?
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam, I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
Righto, and who's that?
He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Really, he's just selling his employer stuff. Stuff he stole after he broke the seals on his humanox lorry.
And where do I find him?
Just follow the smell. It smells like apricot and oil when you're nearby.
The lorryman lets out a raspy croak at his own sense of humor.
Yes, yes. Where is he?
Yeah, seriously.
Looks like
we gotta go apologize to Cuno for
there.
being rude.
Too bad. Sealing's usually a little bit south of here, near the canal. You can't miss him. Just watch yourselves. His
Right
tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right. 100%.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealing himself has to say.
Guess we gotta pay him a visit then, huh, Lieutenant?
Guess so.
Alright. We're done for now, you piece of shit. I gotta be a little bolder. Some of my conversational choices. Particularly with the racists. Let them know that racism's not cool. And, you know, score points. Virtue signal for the lieutenant. See if I can make him think better of me. Hey, Cuno! If I seem happy to see you, it's because you suck less now, relatively. You don't. You care nothing, you little shit. But I talked to Mañana about the armor.
So?
He said to thank you. Wasn't too keen on chasing down that armor. Anyway.
Fuck, okay. Cuno's a giver like that, yes?
Ha.
Cuno sent your fat ass running around like jello.
Running like jello. It's not a good simile.
Look, pig. Cuno sent you to rough some people up. Cuno played you. That happened. Now you and Cuno should move on.
I didn't rough anybody up. I'm the one who's laughing at you.
Good idea.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, that's what Cuno said. Don't be saying what Cuno said back to Cuno. Get the fuck out of here, Patterson Cuno.
I would have thought the things that Cuno said are your favorite things to hear.
After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Cuno's face.
How about we're two grown men? You want to make something of this here? We'll beat the shit out of you, kid.
Yeah, real interesting.
Well, then I'm off. Because I'm not interested in talking to either of you.
Cuno doesn't fucking care.
You care a little. Don't lie to me. I know you like me, kid. Or at least you like attention. Okay, what's on the agenda? I think the big thing now is let's find this sill whatever. Hey, Rigadith! Welcome. Yeah, it seems like it's going well. I mean, not great, but I don't think it's supposed. It's not supposed to go great. But we're stumbling along, having a good time. Let's talk to some of the other people around here. Figure out which ones are lorry drivers. Tommy Lahome. Tommy the boy.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
Let's see if he... Does his song include any information about the murder?
From another planet. Hey there.
Hey, what's going on here?
It's the jam, my man.
What's the jam?
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck.
Sounds like a real mess.
Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days.
Ah, limbo, huh? That explains... if that's where I am, it actually explains a few things.
Yeah, exactly.
Righto.
It's official. He too agrees. This is the antechamber of the afterlife.
How long you been here, Tommy?
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
Extravagant phrasing. We can roll with it.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
So tell me, what do you need?
Well, you know anything about the dead guy back there?
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
Well, hold on. Are you keeping busy or you wasting time?
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
So what exactly are you busy with,
Analyzing
Tommy?
the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs.
Oh, yeah. Your conclusion?
A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
Oh. All right. Yeah. What are you hauling anyway?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Lieutenant, we've blown this case wide open.
Time to arrest him.
Okay. What are you actually hauling, though?
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of foul
The great
cargo.
detective.
Mostly sporting goods, tracksuits, and that kind of thing.
Ooh. Any chance of one of those fancy tracksuits falling off the
They usually
lorry?
get shipped to Grad in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately.
Could I get...
We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise.
That's fair.
The
That's
boss
fair.
won't be happy.
That's fair. That's your machine here, though?
This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
I have a general interest in all things.
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6.
That a Fallon A6 you got there?
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together.
No kidding.
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry.
Right. Well, I had another question.
The man
if you don't
taps
mind.
his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
You seem... How can I put this, Tommy? You seem like a man who knows his way around some drugs.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
Yeah, let me be straight with you. Tommy, I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling the drugs. I thought maybe... I know it's not you.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
Who do you think could be conducting the drug
Look,
trade?
man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
Such as...
It's not a lie. It's something else. Impossible to say what at this point, but there's something in him. Some trepidation.
Well, odds aren't great, even with my mighty empathy. But like I said, I think I'm going to up my empathy on my next level up, so I'll get a chance to retry this with better odds. So, what is behind those eyes, Tommy?
In his eyes,
Success.
an unfamiliar longing. Flecks of brown and gold.
In what sense is it familiar? Oh, is it because it's what I see in the mirror?
It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest, down the street that goes beyond the horizon.
What's in the southwest, Tommy?
Excuse me?
I mean, look, I can see the longing. I get longing. Feel something similar ever since I woke up. And I can't remember, but I was probably feeling it before I fell asleep, too.
Man, I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. There's no helping in absence, you know. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am stuck in this shit, so far from home.
Diora?
Diora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Le Caillou, pretty much. On another island called Laurentide, off mainland. We've got a little place there. Can almost hear my kid laugh when it snows.
Tommy, what's it like to miss someone? You know, like to have someone to miss.
What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios in great detail of living with them. It comforts me.
Fools rush in, so here I am, very glad to be unhappy.
What about you, Cop Man? You missing someone?
Probably.
Is that what it is? This feeling? No, it's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow, and the past.
No. I feel hunted.
Hunted? By what?
By a shadowy figure, known only to me as the ex-something.
An ex-wife?
Ooh, I just hurt my health somehow? Uh-oh. Whatever it is, it's not my ex-wife.
Still, a shadowy figure. That sounds pretty bad. I hope that doesn't happen to my marriage.
And stay away from the Al Ghul, Tommy. If you get what I'm saying. You don't want to become Tommy, the guy who misses his home.
For some reason, sire, he pays no heed to your objection, continuing instead as if it were your ex-wife. Strange.
Don't worry, Tommy. You seem like... I just get this feeling. I don't think anything bad's happened to your marriage.
Yeah. In marriage, you never know if you're doing the right thing. I hope we're doing our best to keep ours together, but anything can happen. Look, man.
That's how they get you on the Al Ghul.
Thanks for this.
Lure you in with the hot dog.
It's nice to talk to someone. I know it wasn't easy to ask, so I hope you find your way through your own troubles.
Hey. Thanks, Tommy. Good talk.
Don't be a stranger.
All right, let's look for the other lorry drivers. Roundabout route. Good pathfinding, though. Wouldn't have figured that out on my own. A bold slogan, Humanox, covers the truck. That's not a slogan. But okay.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air, with the aid of numerous ropes and rods.
Who is this horseback
A silver
gentleman?
plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane."
Man, they did not pick up good regal nicknames in this family.
Not a good track record of mental health in that family.
No kidding. This name rings a bell. What did this guy squander?
Even by the standards of the Philippian
Hey,
kings,
good roll.
old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy.
But how?
Well, He blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol.
Now I remember. He squandered literally everything.
His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola.
How did he blow an entire national
Stories
treasury
have
again?
it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices.
Interesting.
He called it the Sol Auron. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
The man certainly knew how to live.
Wait, really? There's no way that's true.
But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction.
The what now?
You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy.
Man, that's a lot of history to process.
His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms.
Okay, and they buried him
beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum.
Is that also why his statue's all fucked
The
up?
original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled.
Right.
Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces.
Right up. And who restored it?
Some years ago,
Do
a
I
group
remember?
of liberal,
I do.
artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city.
Sure, that's ironic.
The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit.
Honestly, it's good. It's funny. It's nihilistic.
People in Martinez tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists.
Maybe they should chill out.
Philip III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death.
Well, hey, gain some experience. How am I doing? We're getting there. Let's take a look here. Oh, sweet. Cha-ching.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your...
Excuse me, ma'am. I'd like to ask some
response.
questions.
Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
I hate to be rude like this, but snap my fingers in front of her
If
face.
you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Snap them twice.
Where am I?
That
Who
was
are
the trick.
you?
That did the trick. Like a magician recalling a subject back from hypnosis, you've jolted her back to reality.
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the wary aspect of a cornered beast.
You alright, ma'am? You were out.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
When else would you be?
Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution. The sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buendero.
That feels like a reference, Cedric, but I think it's soaring over my head. Oh, never mind. I get the reference. It was another Weird Al problem. Where the line as it persists in my mind is, shows based on reality. Oh, the humanity.
Until you came along, that is.
Yeah. Well, who's this Gabriel Buenero?
This
Buenguero?
is Gabriel Buenguero.
Let's take a look.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you. His head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen.
I wonder if my jaw underneath this beard is that chiseled.
This man's got a hold over her. Even 50 years later, you can feel it.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to memorize all his lines.
It's a good fit, for sure. Well, I'm sorry. So, I mean, you were there when you were younger?
Someone was.
Someone? So what? These someone else's memories?
They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. And they will win. They're coming for this, you know? All of this.
She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange thought, as if the past will one day wipe the present away, like a tidal wave approaching.
Well, look, I'm sorry to interrupt your dreaming and bring you back to this place.
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden.
Her eyes narrow. She appears to take your measure.
While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution, in Meth, it was a golden age.
I don't think I'm quite the same age as you, ma'am.
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi, the world's largest state by territory. It's a petrostate, a constitutional monarchy, and, as of recently, an outcast due to its tilt to the far right.
Oh, man. I wish we had more states that were pariahs because of their recent tilt to the far right. So, can we talk about some police business, ma'am?
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
She settles back against the railing of her motor lorry. Behind her, mountains of memorabilia, photos, and knickknacks line the dashboard. What are you hauling?
Diamonds.
Diamonds, really?
Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
Okay, sure. But what are you hauling?
Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
So you don't even know.
I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
But what if the cargo is contraband?
Then it's contraband, Loman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be
No.
my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildos.
That is not what I'm trying to do.
Bad Hand, Hermenegildos' bad hand, strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people.
Before I came, it kind of seemed like you were absent.
She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her things.
So he doesn't think she's a smuggler.
You hear that, Loman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me.
Okay, let's change the
A
subject.
pale dream is what it is.
All right, well, Thank you for now.
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Messier.
Well, I think we're running out of lorry drivers to interview. Ooh, wait. Is there some change in here? Ooh. Well, free white tank top. Okay. So the big thing from here. Wait, hold on. Over here. I still haven't found the specific one that the racist wants me to believe. Yeah, I noticed that. In the same way that putting on some dorky glasses makes you more logical. Foreign car, kept in good condition. This is much more scabs. Okay. Got a little bit of time left. Not that long. I am looking forward to the Sunday, and there must be one coming where I can get a nice long session of this game in. This feels like the kind of game you can get into like a warm bath. Maybe a better metaphor would be to say, get lost in, like a good book. There's the cop car. What's this? Is this our guy?
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes, smelling of strangers' body odors.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
So this is our guy.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Sile is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
Gives me a thumbs up. What's so cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool. The customers are cool. The place is cool. And one more thing, officer.
Yeah?
You're very cool.
Makes both hands
Bang,
into
bang, bang, bang.
finger pistols. Fires a few finger bullets into the air. I'm not cool, buddy.
What? No. I can't believe you said that. You got personal style. You know what you like.
Yeah, I mean, I like flared pants. I know that about myself.
You like premium menswear. Look around and browse. Everything looks cool on a guy like you. Take your time.
Settles. Pardon me. Settles back into the pile of boxes he's sitting on.
Don't be distracted by the flattery and funny man act. Questions.
No, I'm not going to shamelessly beg him for money. Where are you from, pal?
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All revolution.
Oh, for sure.
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola.
But he doesn't want me. Whatever. I want to show. You're from the Apricot Suzerainty, aren't you? Right?
Seaguy, apricot, suzerainty. It's all the same to me. It's all cool. I'm interested in sales. Go ahead, let's make one. Super high quality, friendly prices.
What's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
Righto. So we're looking. Actually, hold on. I love drugs.
That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale. Or at my home, or on my person.
Ah. Well, we're looking for a lorry driver who is transporting drugs out of the harbor. We believe they're here in the traffic jam.
That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But, I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
But you are, like, I mean, at least the racist dude, the fat racist guy up the street.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right?
It is.
I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
Lieutenant here raises a good point, though.
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
Right. And so you just forgot to what? Were you embarrassed to tell me?
No, I just forgot. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity.
Okay. Silling. My source actually tells me that you're the ones transporting the drugs. What do you say to that?
No! That's insane! It's the fat hater. He's been eyeing me for a week and he sent you here. Maybe he's the one, huh? Have you thought about that?
I have thought about that. I gotta talk to everybody, though. Could you just, stop squirming for a minute, settle down, and just tell me what you know?
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy.
I never
don't
said
get
you were
involved
dumb.
With that crowd.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd.
Who's in the drug crowd?
He doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid.
Who are you afraid of, Silling?
Look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I've spent 15 years working my way up.
We're buddies, Silling. Just help us out. No one's gonna know it was you.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
Hey, who are these other drivers talking about her?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
I mean, we're getting cooler.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos.
Right. And so when you say the lady driver, you mean the old lady? The dazed out one? Kind of weird?
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
It could be. She was strange.
Okay. We're cool. We're cool, Silling.
All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you. You deserve it.
I'll take a look around. Can I actually take a look around at his goods?
You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of found, durable wear sneakers, ultra serious.
I can see you've a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
Let's take a look.
A pair of found ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple.
Well, if
A
it's impossible, then how are they right here in
with
front
a
of me?
sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper, and a silver-lined midsole.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest found sneakers. Super rare, super fine, super cool. Only 50 real.
Only? That's madness.
Remarkable, Smuggling, that you looked at me and thought I had 50 real to spend on bootleg sneakers.
These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable Faun Ultras atop them.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here.
What are the speakers, though? Doesn't anybody want these speakers?
These, officer? These speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to even use them for props. Don't waste your time on them.
Samaran trash? That sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic, produced under the dictatorship of the proletariat.
And I can't buy these?
No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk.
That's why I want them. I kind of get the feeling that I myself am lo-fi socialist
No,
junk.
officer. You're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I've got the best on sale.
Well, what if I do deserve more?
You do, officer, you do. Remember, we don't have to resort to socialism. We can have nice things too. At socialist prices.
Ooh. All right. Sounds great, Smuggling. All right. How am I for time? Let's talk to the other lorry drivers again. And fairly soon I got to wrap up. I like the pacing of this. It's deliberate.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
Tommy, I heard one of the drivers is a woman. I'm not sure she's here, unless it's the pale driver, but I can't confirm that. Do you know, lady driver?
I don't want to talk about that.
I don't mean to pry, but I do need your help. Because she might be involved with the drug business?
Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
Tommy, I asked you who was doing the drug trade, and you said you didn't know. Now you do.
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her.
Okay.
That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
Well, maybe she's not.
He still is. Hoping. It's just wishful thinking on his part, not trickery.
Who is she? What's her name?
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver. She kept her name a secret. From me, too. Now I see why.
And who is she to you?
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay?
I'm not asking anybody to rat. Well, I'm asking everybody if they're willing to. What does she look like?
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Dyed. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Yeah. And when did she leave?
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That we're corruptly performing on behalf of a corporation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation.
Yeah, that's our job,
The girl's
Tommy.
troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
Okay.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you.
Believe us. It really is. It's information only.
I just can't, man. I'm not naive.
You said she's troubled. Like how?
She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
Hell yeah, you know, I've always said I'm young at heart. Forever young over here.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
It's not snitching. Just a few questions.
It's snitching, man. I know what it is.
All right, look. I was told that everyone's afraid of her, but you're not?
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Good. Apropos, Lieutenant.
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind.
Hold on. She talked about her mind?
The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her.
Did she leave her Lorry behind when she left? Because we could crack this case without ever having to talk to her.
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one.
Talk to the asshole again.
Push Tommy, and it will break his heart and his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals.
All right. Tommy, I'm going to drop this for now.
Thank you,
I like
friend. Wow, this makes me feel like I should pick up smoking again. Would help with my rhymes, too.
Don't do that, Tommy. Smoking's bad for you. All right. You take care, Tommy. Let's see what our racist friend knows.
Looking for something?
I know you've been giving me the runaround. So just fess up. Where's this lady driver?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright. So, what are you smirking about then?
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Evashel West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
Yeah, so who does? You?
No. He means La Puta Madre.
I was being sarcastic, Lieutenant.
A legendary, and not in a good way, crime boss from Jamrock. Controls what is probably the most powerful organized crime outfit in Revachol West. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Proceed, Lieutenant.
Yeah, him.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is.
Speaking hypothetically.
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
Get him, Lieutenant.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
Oh yeah, does that protection stop bullets from going into the back of your skull?
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
But hypothetically speaking, are we sure about that?
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod.
I'll barely nod at him.
I softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job.
Oh, God. Well, not great odds here. But let's take a shot.
The main thing is to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important thing is, how does it look on your resume?
Look, I'm sorry. Can't you just tell me what you know?
Make me grunt.
Oof. Blows a cloud of smoke right in my face.
Let's just go and ask Tommy, alright? We are wasting our time here.
Alright, we're done here for now.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type.
Wait, there's Copo types?
Yes. Guess what's yours?
Cool cop?
No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we?
How?
Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here.
Sorry.
Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info. Or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million.
What does this rigorous self-critique do for me? Temporary research bonus of -1 authority. Well, maybe I'll want to concentrate on that at some point.
That won't happen.
Well, I figured I'd just be humiliating myself if I tried to play tough anyway, so. What is half light anyway? Oh. It's when you just let the body take control. Yeah, you know what? Why not start thinking on it? For now, I have less authority while I'm walking around feeling like a piece of shit. But we'll be okay. Yeah, I don't want to wreck my... Tommy seems like a good guy. I really would have preferred to threaten it out of the racist.
Lowman, you caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather keeps me awake. You can entertain me with your questions.
You're not the lady driver, are you?
Did you just call me a lady, Sheriff?
No, I asked if you were one.
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I was told of a woman driver. You're the only woman I see here.
I'm not that either, Sheriff. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It
So you're
doesn't work like that on the
Sorry.
long haul.
Sorry for interrupting. Wait, I say sorry too much. So you're not the driver everyone's terrified of?
I'm only terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me.
Nah. What makes you so scary to the people who used to know you?
Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was.
Oof. So anyway, I mean, I was told of a female driver. Any...
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other commoners sniffing around when I have my movies to go to?
Yeah. But you said the long haul a minute ago? That's...
The big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there. It's all just...
She hums along, as if to a track on repeat.
In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway. It takes all the people where they want to stay.
Right
In the
out.
background, a quiet song seeps from her cabin into the air. You don't hear any vocals.
Alright, well, that's all I needed to know. Thanks.
Oh, Sim.
You kind of seem like a woman, though, who, if you pardon my saying so, knows a thing or two about drugs.
What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare.
It's not quite what I was
Then
getting
what
at.
were you getting at?
This line of questioning is going nowhere. Try harder.
What is it that you're hauling?
Your man, low man. What of it?
Okay. Let's just change the subject.
Good. I don't care about drugs. Little molecules, they are nothing.
She glances wistfully at the photo. Okay, thanks for now. Well, shit. Still not late enough. Feels like I might be getting railroaded into just being like, Tommy, I'm sorry. The Measurehead will be glad to know I'm living up to my national identity. Probably nothing more to do with the racist Lorry man right now. I'm not ready yet to bite the bullet and...
Looking for something?
Yeah. What's this? Oh, this is Fritz, isn't it? Can't imagine that the young lady here has any insight, but...
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
You can't tell me anything about the dead body?
I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so...
You didn't know the guy?
Not really.
Not really? Did you know him a little?
No. I didn't know him at all.
Well, thank you for your help. Not helpful. Not helpful at all, young lady. Okay. I think probably this is a good spot to stop so that I can wrestle with the decision of whether I want to put off learning more about the lady driver or whether I want to bite the bullet and wreck my budding friendship with Tommy. Yeah. Things didn't go... I went up and met Measurehead. Didn't go great. Do you have any insight? Anything could help me?
Sorry. Busy surveying the situation. I'm sure you'll figure something out. You guys have all sorts of gadgets these days.
Oh, yeah.
Wiretapping, telescopic batons, futuristic circuit bending to infiltrate harbor machinery. Maybe you could even knock that Kowalski crane over using some remote controls.
I feel like Kim would not go for that solution.
Or calling in tactical air support. You guys have air support, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we don't. At least not all of these things.
I get it. Hush hush about the secret technology.
Yeah. I mean, their secrets are safe with me.
Something changes in his disposition. A merciful smile in the corner of his eye.
All right, I may have some advice for you on how to deal with Jean-Luc there, out of solidarity to the RCM. It's low in technology, however.
Yes?
First, don't fight him.
Yeah.
Obviously. Second, get him to share his theory by being subordinate. Admit your lack of expertise. Basically grovel. That's how I do it. You're welcome.
Maybe that would work. We'll have to see.
I mean, it kind of did. I just failed the check. Will that be enough to reopen it? Probably not. Ha! Does he... Is it just a standard, lieutenant, or a detective, for fuck's sake, result? Let's see. Can Mañana's
Your
insight...
race descent has only worsened. since the last.
I am allowed to
You have
retry.
Really let yourself
With a +1. Let's try it.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is
Yeah.
core to this stuff.
Measurehead. I, as a degenerate, have largely not known anything about this kind of stuff. Could you help me understand? I need to know, like, what kind of different races are there?
Do you?
This is for the thing.
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then to you. He lets out an audible sigh.
Would you prefer I was sincerely into this shit, Lieutenant?
You are obviously a liberal, Sailite. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. Do not deny your friend the truth you have denied yourself. There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need an occasional?
Well, tell me what the type A's.
Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course.
Of course.
The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. They are all lactose intolerant, a common result of inbreeding. A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades in Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats.
Exactly how these Maun?
You know them by the names of their nation states. The Oranese, the Gotwaldians, and the Königsteiners.
Righto.
My people simply call them Maun.
Maun is a derogative term for first world people of Gotwaldian descent. They do not all have eczema. Also, people of Katla, like the Suru and the Uhu, are much more lactose intolerant.
Got it.
You're welcome.
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and tassel-centric culture. Inbreeding has led to a lactose-intolerant subrace whom no one can take seriously.
Fucking lactose intolerance. I can't take anyone seriously if they can't just eat a bunch of cheese. Alright, who are the type A's? The official?
Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina.
Oh, is that where the Vespertines
ancient
and the Messenians come
Meteorites
from?
of Mateo by the golden Pisantic Sea, the Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North Königsteiners, all have type A race propensities. The other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expansionist, but they have a glandular problem. Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food, which in turn only produces more sebum.
So where do you Seminese and the Areopagites come in here?
As proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental type A is in retrograde. The Seminese and the Areopagite are on the ascent.
And what's the difference between them?
The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Seminese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor, unchanged since the Super Isola of Pericarnassus. Ancient brains rest in their slender skulls.
He falls silent, contemplating the beauty and the mystery.
The latter is perfected in adapting Together, they form the Simeno-Areopagite, or Simeopagite super race. That is all. There are no more type A races in the world.
Oh, so this particular lecture is over?
Nature was not capable of more.
Huh. And the type Bs?
Type B are the unheroic races.
I'm getting that feeling.
Non-competitors of the great race.
That's what we gotta do for the cause. For the cause, baby.
They are mud-colored people.
The mud-colored people.
To an untrained eye, the Koiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich.
Right.
Look into their eyes and you will see. They are of a distinct muddy color, and so is their skin. Unhealthy, sweaty, and ashen.
I can see that my skin is unhealthy. I'll concede that.
Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking alcohol and smoking the degenerate tobacco herb and for eating potato. The Koiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with potat.
This is a perfect simulation of what it's like to talk to these people.
Divided into microscopic ethnostates, like political amoeba.
I can only imagine it's better than the people skills version. Okay. And you said something about the Vacholiers?
The Vacholians, halfway between type A and the racial cauldron. Two makes to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution, which was the single greatest failure committed by humans in our 82,000-year history on this planet.
Yeah.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
Not gonna blow my cover here. What revolution? Oh no, let's play along. That revolution was perpetrated only by degenerate left-wing marauders, not everyone.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zaraz-ridden potato carts. It is literally an illness. A prion disease
It's a mind
that
virus,
leaves
it
the
sounds like.
parietal and frontal lobe ridden with holes. A soft, sponge-like mass of dementia, hallucination, and paranoia. The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary prion condition passed from the Koiko to the Occidentals. But not sexually. Probably through trade routes and potate acid, the prime component of the potato plant. Enough of Tibet mediocrity.
Alright. Why don't you say the ugliest shit that's rattling around in your brain?
Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. Your morbid interest in them worries me.
Yeah, you're right. We better not get into it.
It would be cruel to entertain ourselves with their deformities. Were there any able-bodied races you needed education on?
No, I think we've been through the types. I feel like... Do you feel like I'm getting this? Am I an advanced race theorist?
You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it.
This feels risky, but... Okay. If I learn to word the mystery, maybe even solve it, could you give me a hand with the corpse? Stupinski! Hail!
We will see.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation. But there may be another way, without becoming a race theoretician.
Lieutenant, we don't actually need to believe in this shit.
Am I mildly worried he might take it seriously? The lieutenant thinks. Yes, I am. He concludes. I am worried.
Lieutenant, give me a little credit. We've known each other for hours.
You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come instantly.
Well, let's discuss something else.
I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss.
Nice. You showed up right at the end, Stimpinski.
Your love for disco music and venereal disease.
I think if you can condense them quickly, tell me now. If not, let's save them. If only. Maybe I'll roll the 12. No. Thank you, Stupinski. I look forward to learning with them. Okay, well, can I reassure the lieutenant here?
Yes?
Not time yet. No, okay. No need to reassure him, I guess. I do need to become an advanced race theorist. Oh, I can't. My whole brain is taken up. So I guess I just wait for one of these to complete. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's formally and physically save the game. Okay. I'm continuing to dig this game. Quite a bit, in fact. I think this is an excellent game. I'm intrigued to find out more, muddling my way through, blindly accepting the consequences of whatever choices I happen to make. Cool. All right. Well, until next time. What else is going on here? Well, I really do hope, because I think in my mind's eye I've solved the final puzzle of Adventures of Lola for the Famicom. I'd love to test that out in the physical world. And perhaps indeed I shall, when the time comes. But when will the time come? Well, maybe sometime this week in an unscheduled thing, but a lot depends on exactly how horrible I feel after I get a gum graft tomorrow morning, right as the semester is starting and I have to professionally speak for hours in front of people. I begged them not to schedule it for, I wanted to do it in December. They were like, no. And maybe that's for the best, because I really did wind up having a great holiday, but it's frustrating now. What can you do? What will definitely happen, regardless of any pain I might be feeling in my mouth, is on Wednesday evening, Greg will be over here, and we'll be carrying on our adventure through the beat-em-up genre, and Greg and James beat 'em up. Then, maybe something... Yeah, it doesn't sound great. I'll say this. Nobody has said anything even slightly comforting to me since learning that I'm getting a gum graft, except for Rich, who once mangled his face really badly when we were in high school and had to have years and years of reconstructive surgeries. And he said that the gum graft was the least unpleasant procedure that he had in his entire getting his face rebuilt. So I'm trying to take comfort in that. What can you do? Can't have your gums just going away and your teeth falling out. So I must submit. But Greg will be over. I might start using the currently free Friday evening for something, but a lot of that depends on the pain in my face. Next Saturday, Saturday night's all right for Friday. Friday Night Frosthaven is in a Saturday residence right now as we try to get eventually back to its regular Friday time slot. But we realized after we wrapped up and after Rich said goodbye that there's a conflict here between our lost friend Robert's birthday party and Friday Night Frosthaven. So we'll find out how that resolves. I'll keep you all posted. And then eventually, it'll be Sunday again. And soon enough, we're going to get back into the swing of things here. But the new year is off. We're just having a few stutter steps out of the gate with the scheduling trickery around Friday Night Frosthaven and me having to get some slicey slice done to my mouth. Wish me luck. Wish me the best. I hope you do. And, yeah. That's it. That's all. That's all there is. So, hey, if you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you came and you left, you can't hear my voice. I'm glad you stopped by anyway. So thanks for stopping by. And until the next time, when, you know, we're becoming advanced race theorists, but not really. We don't endorse scientific racism here at 58 Dream Street. Take care of yourselves. And be kind to everyone you meet.